Tonight on KGW News, get ready for a bang.
That building's at risk of imminent collapse, and we just want to make sure the community is safe.
The demolition plan taking shape that starts with explosives targeting the water tower. Plus,
if this guy's running with a knife and actively trying to stab people.
The backstory, police say, of the suspect who caused a standoff, then went after a drone and a canine. Then how the local teens volunteering to help their peers in some of their darkest moments are shining a national light on the work they do.
Lots of people were suffering, and I just wanted to be able to help.
And later,
they're escape artists. They'll find any way to get out of this yard.
Meet the owner of this now infamous duo that hoofed it onto a bus without him knowing they'd made a run for it. But first at 11, a new plan to demolish the century-old mill in Northwest Portland. The one officials say is on the verge of collapse. We're glad you're with us tonight. I'm David Mulco. Let's get right to Catherine Cook live in the Pearl with how it's all set to play out. And as soon as Monday, Catherine.
David, demolition will begin with the water tower that's on the very top of the Centennial Mills building. We're told the crews will use controlled explosions to bring it down first on Monday. In the meantime, these protective fences will remain up. And now more than ever, city crews are saying it is critical for people to remain on the outside of the gates, as the building could collapse at any time and is extremely dangerous. Preparing for demolition and dealing with risk around the Centennial Mills building in the Pearl District.
That building's at risk of imminent collapse, and we just want to make sure the community is safe, and we don't want anyone to get hurt.
Portland's Director of Permitting and Development shared crews will begin demolishing the century-old building on Monday, 2 weeks after it burned. On Sunday, crews will wet down the building to keep dust from spreading, including asbestos and also lead. They estimate the building will be reduced to half its height in 2 weeks, at which time they hope to remove the protective barriers.
Look, I know that this fire has been very inconvenient on folks. We're doing everything we can to bring this building down expeditiously, and we'll continue to provide updates and be as transparent as possible.
The Centennial Mills building isn't just a demolition site. It's also still the scene of an investigation after canines alerted there may be human remains inside the rubble. Officials are urging everyone to stay outside the perimeter and keep drones out of the air. Officials are holding off on letting the public know exactly when the demolition will start on Monday. They don't want to draw crowds. They say it's dangerous. They want to keep people away. However, they did say they will notify neighbors and nearby businesses in advance so that they know when the blasts are going to happen. Back to you.
Yeah, I sure hope so. Catherine Cook in Northwest Portland tonight. Thanks, Catherine. To get you caught up on tonight's other headlines now, police say the armed suspect who destroyed a drone and hit a canine following a standoff in Northwest Portland this week was also involved in a previous incident. Authorities say on July 20th, 33-year-old Joshua Curris approached a P-Bot worker with a knife and slashed a tire on their car. Police spotted the suspect and tried to arrest him on Wednesday, but say he made a run for it. Curris was eventually arrested after an hours-long standoff. In Beaverton, police are asking for help identifying a man suspected in a bias crime attack. They say on July 10th, the victim, who is Latino, was remodeling a business off Southwest 3rd and Collins when the suspect, the person in these photos, approached him. Authorities say the suspect told the victim, quote, "You don't belong here," before tackling him to the ground and punching him multiple times in the face. The victims and witnesses say the suspect also yelled racial slurs. If you recognize him, contact Beaverton Police. And we're keeping an eye on a new wildfire in southern Oregon. The Fielder Mountain Fire burning close to I-5 between Grants Pass and the town of Rogue River. This sparked Thursday afternoon, and fire crews say hot, windy conditions helped it grow quickly. Over 1,000 people are now under level 3 go now evacuation orders. FEMA has authorized federal funds, saying this blaze could become a major disaster if it isn't stopped. I-5 through that area, by the way, still remains open. Okay, let's bring in meteorologist Chris McGinnis tracking fire weather conditions, especially in that region. Chris.
Yeah, and that is a dense stand of timber right in that part of the state. Now, right now, radar has quieted down, but I do want to take you back about 3 hours, and we had a prolific area of showers and thunderstorms go through the area. Rain, of course, is good. Lightning could promote all new fire starts, and of course the erratic winds that come with those thunderstorms make firefighting efforts difficult. Now, that was earlier. Radar has quieted down, but we'll wait to see if that presented any new fire starts or what challenges that presented to firefighters. Meanwhile, farther north through the central Oregon Cascades, we had a line of showers and thunderstorms roll right up over Mount Jefferson, right up over Mount Hood, and in fact splashed the Grasshopper Fire with some rain and of course some lightning, which again presents more challenges for firefighters in the area. Those are all quieting down for now, so that's good news from that perspective. Currently 80 degrees, not currently, but the high for today actually got up to 80 degrees in Portland. We are mostly clear and quiet after a nice concert out over the Pioneer Square. 65 last check at PDX. The plan for this evening has temperatures slowly dipping into the low 60s by early tomorrow morning. We'll get a look ahead to the rest of your weekend forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, looking good. Thanks, Chris. Developing this evening, a big change for people living in their vehicles in the Rose City, with the city set to eliminate RV parking at a tiny home village in North Portland. We're talking about the Shelter Village off North Portland Road. The city pays for the site, which houses 90 shelter units and 70 RV parking spots. Now, city budget cuts forced 2 different tiny home villages to close, so the city wants to move those shelter pods here, and that means closing the RV parking.
But I mean, they brought me here, telling me that if I didn't come here, that they were going to just tow my stuff out on the street, and they kind of coerced me into coming here, and now they're telling me that I have to give up my RV.
The city telling us they will start tagging RVs for removal in the fall, and that some people may be offered one of the incoming tiny homes. To Washington Park now, where the public area on top of the new-ish reservoir is finally open to visitors. There's a reflecting pool, a plaza, a cascading water feature, a historic timeline. It's all very beautiful, but we say newish because the reservoir was finished a year ago. There have been some engineering and construction bugs to work out. The reservoir holds over 12 million gallons of water underground and provides drinking water for the city's west side.
So I was a little bit nervous seeing 2 goats coming into my bus.
Yeah, not your typical passengers, right? That bus driver behind the wheel when 2 wayward goats hoofed it on board a TriMet bus. Yeah, and without paying the fare. Our John Adams tracked down the goat's owner, who had a lot to say about their bad behavior.
In this southeast Portland neighborhood,
They're escape artists. They'll find any way to get out of this yard.
these 2 goats have become quite the celebrities.
This is Billy the Kid and Billy the Goat.
On Tuesday morning, the partners in crime were seen briefly boarding this TriMet bus on Southeast Division and 162nd, unbeknownst to owner LaRae Anderson. By the time he received a call from his cousin at Animal Control that morning, Billy the Kid and Billy the Goat were back in the yard.
She called me immediately like, hey, your goats are out. And I'm like, no, I go look. I'm like, no, they're not. So I blow it off. I think nothing of it. I'm like, okay, everybody's saying my goats are, but then I seen the clip of them getting on the bus. I was like, whoa, what the heck? When did they do that?
We're gonna show you exactly how far Billy the Kid and Billy the Goat went. They started here at Ray's house, traveling down the street, around the corner, and across this parking lot, before ending up here at the bus stop. A stop that's nearly a quarter mile away from Anderson's home.
It was really big surprise to see 2 goats coming to my bus.
TriMet driver Abdullah Lahousnia was behind the wheel that day.
People took it as funny, as something strange, I would say, and that will, of course, keep Portland weird.
Anderson tells us taking care of the goats isn't as easy as it looks. They require a lot of patience and attention. He has also added an additional layer of security to prevent any future breakouts.
I actually put the chain on to keep everyone from going in and out of the fence, because that's how they get out. Someone will open the fence and not close it. So they just, poof, thank you. They're opportunists. They'll slide right out. Ooh, thank you. And they'll go eat something and they'll just keep going. If notices them, they go to the neighbor's yard, over to that, and to the bus stop.
John Adams, KGW News.